Welcome back to the Stream-Flo technical series videos. This is episode 3 of 4 of the DMLX videos. Today we're going to focus on the rig site operations. I'm Sean Wilcock, I'm the general manager. I'm joined here by Austin McPherson, our branch operations manager, and Roger Harrington, our DMLX subject matter expert. So let's carry on from where we left off in episode 2, where we were talking about some of the benefits on site and the running tools really around the DMLX.
So Sean, one of the biggest benefits in this DMLX system, when you're running a 3 or 4 string system with the surface mandrel hanger, you bring it out as an integral tested unit. It comes out to the field assembled, ready to be installed. So you have integrity that all of your valves, every connection on that head has been tested prior to installing in the field. You also eliminate field welding, right? So you don't have a welder in the cellar cutting pipe, doing those field welds. Field welds are inherently dangerous, right? Mm-hmm. There's something that's been in the industry for a long time, but there's the potential risk impact for a field weld can be catastrophic, right? So eliminating that out of the system is a big plus. The other thing into the running tools and throughout the whole system is we have a ability to set barrier plugs, right? So when we nipple down, when we move during offline cementing operations, we have the ability to be able to set a barrier plug. We reduce the need for having people in the cellar and the time spent in the cellar to really only testing the equipment, performing the pressure test, because we're able to lock everything in from the rig floor and do, the majority of the work from up on the rig floor where it's a safer environment. You
really talk there a lot to some of the safety components that the system then brings to the rig site, which I think is really important. Roger, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about that. You've spent how long in the industry?
I've been in the industry 42 years.
42 years, majority of that out in the field as well?
Yep.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. That's great. I mean, let's talk a little bit about the safety. I mean, reducing rig time in the cellar is key. And some of the other safety components, the less exposure, the better. Safety is paramount for me, always has been, always will be. Yeah. And having a product as well that we can put out that is safer and better, to me, is a win-win.
Yeah. Well, Sean, from the very beginning, we incorporated safety into the design aspect, to the development, all the way through R&D, manufacturing, and the validation testing. Because we want all our people to come back home safe and sound, so we take safety as our paramount number one objective. Some of the safety aspects we have was incorporating our tools. The tools are all the same tools, whether it's 11 inch or 13 inch, so the service technicians are more familiar with the tools, so the repetitiveness in that, they get more familiar with it, and it's more safer. Also, during the cellar operations, we incorporated the BOP adapter, where we can do that offline, we can test it. That's nobody in the cellar, the rig's already moved over to the next well on the pad. Also in our wellheads, when we have to go down and have to work in the cellar, and we have to test the equipment, so on and so forth, but we don't have to run in all the lockdown pins. So not having the lockdown pins creates much more time in the cellar. We reduce that time, at least 30 to 45 minutes each job that we do. So the impact on our safety, the rig schedule, and the people is all safe. Most important thing we look at is safety, reducing the time in the cellar for our people and the contractors out there and the company people out there on location.
Yeah, we keep talking about that repeatability side. Let's talk a little bit about the service excellence piece. From a service technician, how does this tool help the service technicians be better consistently on every job?
So the tools, as we've spoken in the previous video, are really where we hone in on it. But having your 11-inch tool and your 13-inch tool be a direct model comparison of each other, but to take it a step further on our production hangers running tools, you can use that same running tool for any system, from an 11-inch 2-string to a 13-inch 4-string, the exact same tool. So when we have customers that are running different casing programs in areas, they can use that landing joint, they can use that same landing joint to shift around, and it's the same tool. So being able to build out the running procedures in the training program for the guys, where the tools, not only they look the same, but they function the same. We've really honed in on the number of turns and the operations and different things like that, so we can embed it into the guys. As they go out there, there's less variables or little nuances to the system that they have to worry about, right? It's the same, and it's very clean, very
cookie cutter.
Yeah, very
Every
cookie.
single job, no
Repeatable.
matter the size.
Scalable and repeatable.
Yeah, there we go. See those two buzzwords coming up again. I want to thank Austin and Roger for joining us today. In the next episode, which is the final episode, we're going to have a full circle, and we're going to turn that into a real key focus on the total cost of ownership, where we're saving time and where we're saving money. Thank you for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you on our next episode.